The Collegian News, with news anchors Corey Aiken and Samantha Ruiz. This is your weekly webcast update.
The City of Brownsville has tabled action on 8-liners.
And the TSC Board of Trustees considers new tuition and fees rates.
The Collegian News is brought to you in part by the Dean of Students Office. The Student Government Association extends an invitation to all students to come and ask questions in regard to any issues or concerns that they may have regarding the impact on students as a result of the separation of UTB and TSC. Representatives of each institution will be available to answer questions from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesday, May 1st at the Student Union Grand Salon. For more information, contact Carla Lozoya at 882-5877. Hello, UTB-TSC students. Welcome back to the Collegian News. I'm Corey Aiken.
And I'm Samantha Ruiz, bringing you this week's top stories. The Brownsville City Commission tabled action last Tuesday on a proposed moratorium on the issuance of building permits for 8-liners and other gaming businesses. Rick Saldivar has the details.
Commissioners took no action because the ordinance's presenter, Comprehensive Planning Manager Ramiro Gonzalez, was absent from the meeting.
That has to do with the 8-liners, and what happens is generally when if you see someone's name on the agenda, that means that person has been prepared and ready to give you all the answers of any questions you might have with relation to that particular item. And so most of the time we'd rather hear it from the person who's actually authored it to find out what their views are, and they can answer more questions so they're better prepared.
All right.
Okay?
For the second meeting in a row, the Commission tabled a term contract for fleet management and maintenance services because Commissioner at Large A. Estela Vasquez had unanswered concerns.
And I understand, and I do not want to rush into something that is a contract this big, and I have questions that have not been answered. I am not going to rush into.
Okay.
One more comment. Sure. You just approved $114 million in bonds without a comment, yet we have a $318,000 contract, and this is coming up.
Also tabled was a $17,094.61 refund to the First Baptist Church for expenses due to relocation of an emergency shelter dome.
In this particular group, these folks expended some monies, and I think the appropriate thing to do is to be fair to them, is to reimburse them for the monies that they were relying on to do this project and weren't able to do that at the end. That dome is actually going out to the sports park along with another one, so there'll be 2 domes out there.
With the Collegian News, I'm Rick Saldivar.
Here's my co-anchor, Samantha Ruiz, with this week's Texas Southmost College update.
Beginning next fall, Texas Southmost College students taking 12 semester credit hours will pay $1,648 in tuition, a 36% decrease in comparison to the $2,558 they were paying under the UTB-TSC partnership. The TSC Board of Trustees unanimously approved the tuition and fee rates during its meeting last Thursday. Students taking 15 semester credit hours will be charged $1,999, saving them $1,077 over the current UTB-TSC rate. TSC students are projected to save $4,309 over a 2-year period, according to information provided by college officials. In-district tuition per semester credit hour will be $50. Out-of-district in-state tuition will cost $100 per semester credit hour. Out-of-state and international tuition will cost $150 per semester credit hour. Students who repeat a course for a 3rd time will be charged an additional $50 in tuition, and students who take an excessive amount of developmental hours will be charged an additional $50. The tuition amounts do not include the cost of textbooks. TSC President Lily Tercero said it will cost up to $100 for electronic textbooks per class. In other business, Tercero announced the appointment of Ted Phillips as the Associate Vice President of Instruction. Phillips previously served as Vice President for Learning at Northwest Arkansas Community College in Bentonville. For the Collegian News, I'm Samantha Reese. The SGA will help fund a United to Serve volunteer event. Alex Rodriguez has the story.
The Student Government Association has voted to provide funding for the Civic for Center Engagements event, United to Serve. The Senate approved Resolution 33, which sets aside $700 to buy food and giveaways for the event, scheduled from 1 to 4 p.m. Saturday at Camp Lula Sam's.
The place is like abandoned. It's pretty much trash. Like they're the volunteers that they're going to be cleaning up, the entire place. The amount of money allocated was going to be for $200 for the food, and the $450 was going to be for shirts that they were going to be giving away for the students.
How many volunteers are they planning on getting?
They plan to get over 200 volunteers.
Camp Lula Sam's is the site of an old Girl Scouts camp and is currently a wildlife refuge and a teaching camp for school children. United to Serve is a UT system-wide volunteer initiative begun in 2004 by the UT System Advisory Council and is held in conjunction with National Volunteer Week. Students can pre-register for the event by contacting the Center of Civic Engagement at 882-4300 or via email at civicengagement@utb.edu. Volunteers can also register the day of the event. SGA advisor Heather Olage told the Senate that the trees for SGA's Earth Day event have been purchased through Physical Plant.
The tree was put in with a bigger order of trees to help on that cost reduction. It's not from a Lowe's or Home Depot. It's from a nursery that Physical Plant works with, and we felt it was best to go with their recommendation.
For the Collegian News, this is Alex Rodriguez.
Samantha, what are some of the incidents reported to campus police this week?
Well, Corey, on March 29th, a student was arrested on a charge of possession of marijuana after he was seen walking in and out of the brush area near the Education and Business Complex. The student was seen throwing something into the brush when he saw the campus police corporal walk toward him. The student told him that he was walking to class and said he had thrown a mostly smoked marijuana roach cigarette. A copy of the report was forwarded to the Dean of Students' office. Later that day, a man was arrested on a charge of public intoxication after he was seen parking his car in Lot AA. The man showed signs of intoxication and told the officers that he was meeting a friend under the bridge. The man was found in possession of alcoholic beverages that he disposed of later. He was later transported to the Carizales Rucker Detention Center.
UT Brownsville recognized student leaders during a banquet April 12th. With more on this is reporter Alex Rodriguez.
UT Brownsville President Juliet V. Garcia addressed the audience at the Student Organization Leadership Banquet with the heartwarming story of Juan Torres. Juan Torres is a music major who recently performed his senior concert. Torres was born without the use of legs, which limited the songs he was able to play because he could not access the pedals. This prompted his professor to recruit engineering students to invent a device to help Torres utilize the pedals.
After 2 years, they had experimented enough to where they had designed, after failure upon failure upon failure, right, Kevin? And a few successes along the way, obviously, they had invented a headpiece that Juan could put on his head and a little wire that came into his mouth. What each bit on the switch, it communicated via some sort of remote control device that he would put on his lap. It would communicate to the pedal on the Steinway piano. What a part of being here meant finding that one thing that was going to make a difference, not only for you as a student, but for your community.
Student Life Director Sergio Martinez praised the Student Senate.
The Student Government Association is a voice of the students. That's what you hear a lot. And having been part of this group as an advisor, I've been very fortunate to work with them.
The SGA members received medals and plaques, and newly elected members took the oath of office. SGA President Arturo Guerras, who served 2 terms, bid farewell to the students, thanking for the many accomplishments they were able to make by working together.
I believe helping a cause is the best way to move forward.
He was proud of the recent accomplishments such as increasing the number of registered voters on campus and speaking to Texas lawmakers in Austin about the proposed merger of UT Brownsville and UT Pan American.
I have always helped any student that I could, and I will keep on doing it. You can count on me.
I stand here tonight to thank you for making the right choice, for voting. Voting represents so much in this educational institution. Here's the hard part, where we have to come together and collaborate. Collaborate for progress and improvement. This is really the time to work, to stay together and united as one.
Yanet Ledesma, Vice President of the American Criminal Justice Association, was named Student Leader of the Year. Sigma Psi Delta Student Organization of the Year, Communication Associate Professor John Cook Advisor of the Year, and the Communication Council Student Organization Project of the Year for its Communication Expo. For the Collegian News, this is Alex Rodriguez.
What's on the minds of students? Here's Alex Rodriguez with this week's segment of I Think.
The I Think question of the week is, do you agree with the proposed bill that require elected officials to submit to drug screening?
Well, yes, because I believe that we should be able to know if they're clean or not, because they're the ones leading our community, and I wouldn't want someone who's a user or was a user to be running our community.
Yes, I do, because if they're going to be in office, they're running our city, I guess. Yeah, they should not be doing drugs, right?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I think it would be fair for everyone, since even athletes have to do that in order to participate in sport.
For the Collegian News, I'm Alex Rodriguez.
Last week, Associate Professor John Cook's Gender and Communication class performed a series of skits titled, Where Do Little Boys and Little Girls Come From? Gabriela Moreno was there.
The skit centered on gender stereotypes, expectations, and roles.
So in our last skit, what did we learn from our two embryos in waiting? Well, I'm sure most of you noticed that they have not yet begun to see what there will be exceptions from them as what they can and cannot do once they are born. For instance, Dylan, the boy, wants to cook, and Jessie, the girl, wants to play football. I have a feeling they are in for a rude awakening.
Javier Sainz told the Collegian about his roles in the play.
Yeah, I played 3 different characters. I played, how would you say, like a dad? And then I played a deadbeat boyfriend and a pretty old geezer, I guess. Yeah, old man. For the dad, I had to be like, I guess old school and pretty conservative when it came to my kid playing or doing ballet. So my role was to be that, I guess, old stereotypical sexist male.
What did you do to my kids, woman?
For the deadbeat boyfriend, I guess they were trying to do like a whole, I guess switch the roles on the breadwinner, it being the female and me being provided for instead of the other way around, so that's kind of what I was going for.
Babe, this is gonna be awesome. You just got your PhD, I got my GED. House. Where are you living it up?
Hey, this is awesome. I can't wait to build a family with you in this house. It's like all my dreams are coming true.
I know, me too. Don't worry, baby. First thing tomorrow, I'm gonna go looking for a job.
How did your job hunting go? Did you fill out any applications?
Yeah, about that.
You didn't go, did you?
Well, I was.
You know, it's been 4 years since you last worked. Are you even gonna try?
Yeah, baby. It starts at home, right here. Look, I'm picking up the trash, just like you told me to.
For the Collegian News, this is Gabriela Moreno.
Thank you for coming.
That's all the news for this week. Thank you for joining us.
Don't forget to tune in next week for another edition of the Collegian News. Have a great day.